All right, campers, it's time for Camp Chat with just L. I've got a brief story to share, and welcome to Camp Chat. If you haven't tuned in before, the vibe of Camp Chat is imagine you've been out on an amazing adventure with all your friends, and you've gotten back to camp at night, and you're sitting around the campfire, and you still have a couple hours before bed, and you just talk about anything. Anything might come up. Stories, experiences, debates, philosophy, jokes, ghost stories, who knows? The sky's the limit. So I'll jump right into my story. This is the elements story. So last year, me and two friends, let's call them Sam and Betty, we decided to go to the Elements Music Festival, which is in Pennsylvania. It's not too far from DC. It's about 4 hours. And so we decided we would drive up there and camp out and do the festival. It's probably the biggest festival that's like on the East Coast, I would say. Like actually on the East Coast that happens every year. It's not huge, but it's what we got. And we headed out. Despite the tropical storm warning, we decided to head out. And within a couple of hours, we were in the tropical storm. So we're headed north. It's like 2 p.m. and we want to get in there by like 6 p.m., get set up, and then hit the music, you know? And 2 hours in, we're in a tropical storm. So we're driving like 30 miles an hour, pouring rain. We can't even see like 10 feet in front of us. There's like cars crashed. We're listening to the radio. There's like warnings, seek shelter. Tropical, I don't remember the name of the tropical storm, but tropical storm Mary has made landfall. And we're like, we're going to keep going. And we kept checking the Elements Instagram page. And Elements was like, we're still open for now. But if you're coming, you might want to turn around. And then we're looking on like people were tagging Elements Festival. And we're watching people like the whole place is completely soaked. Like we're watching somebody on a out of their tent on their little sleeping mattress, just floating out of their tent, laying on it, like down the main walkway of the festival. There's people splashing around. There's people just like in the rain, just cavorting, and we're like, okay, I think we got this. Let's keep going. So we're still driving. We make it almost all the way there. We're like 30 minutes away. Element says we're shutting it down. We're not doing any music tonight, and the gates are closed. So if you're coming, turn around and go home. So we were a little dispirited, and then so we're like looking around. We don't want to go all the way back to DC. What a downer. Let's look for other shows in the area. And then Betty is like, oh, hey, Don Diablo is playing at the Mirage in New York, which the Mirage is this huge, beautiful EDM venue in New York. And I've never been there. I've always wanted to. It's like outdoors. And so we're like, Don Diablo! So it's like 8 p.m. at this point. So we start driving toward New York, which is, I said it was, 8 p.m. It's like 2 hours to New York. We figure we can get in there, get into the show, and you know Don Diablo goes on at midnight. Then we're gonna be good. So we're driving until like 10 p.m. 2 hours toward New York, and we're checking the Mirage's Instagram, and the Mirage is like, Don Diablo's canceled for tonight. The tropical storm has hit us, so we're like, ah! Okay, so we're like, you know what? And Sam and I were like, all right, we tried our best. You know, let's pack it up. Let's just go home, team. It's still drenching rain, just pouring. Oh, there's nobody else out there. It's just us. And Betty's like, she's like, we're getting into that festival. We're getting in. Let's go. So we turn around. We drive 2 hours back to the festival. So it's midnight. And we pull up and we're like trying to go into the entrance. And, you know, as advertised, they were closed. So they're like, get out of here. go back with like raincoats and stuff on. They're like, it's not safe. So we're like driving around the place trying to find a way to like, and then Sam and I again were like, all right, well, we tried. Let's go home. And then Betty's like, no, we're getting into the friggin' festival. And so she was like, hide the car. So we find this little side road and we stash the car like behind some trees, like so that the no one can see it. And we walk around the festival until we find a fence that has been blown over by the tropical storm. And so we walk into the festival through this fence. And the rain is up to like mid shin. So we're just trudging through this water. Just our feet are just gone, completely soaked. And there were other people doing the same thing. So we joined up with this other. Oh yeah, and then so we're crossing we're crossing the fence, and we're like, all right, are we doing this? Are we really doing this? And this car pulls up just as we cross the fence. This car pulls up with like its brights on and just illuminates us like we're freaking trying to cross the border. And we're looking back like deer in headlights, like they got us, they got us. And the car turns off, and we're like, is somebody getting out? And all these people got out of the car, and they were like, hey, you guys find a way in? And we're like, yes, we did. And they were going to the festival too. And it was like a clown car. There were like 10 people in there. They just left the car on the road, or like on the side of the road. So we all piled in. We're all splashing through. Woo, let's go, elements. And we didn't think there would be any music, because the festival was canceled. So we're walking through this, like, it's like a rice paddy. There's like tents are destroyed. There's like crap everywhere. It looked like a tropical storm had come through, which it did. It was only raining a little bit at that point. And so we're trudging through the mud. Everything's churned up. And then we hear music. We hear music being played. Alexa, cancel the 2:40 alarm. Sorry.
Your 2:40 p.m. alarm has been canceled.
Okay. We hear music, and we're like, let's go! Music! And so we splash over there, and we tape B and disco lines, which, if you're in the scene at all, those names mean something to you. These are big names. These guys play huge festivals, and they're teaming up to play a set out of the back of some guy's U-Haul. Just this like filthy mud-caked U-Haul with like his own speakers that he brought from home and his own deck. And they're just back there like throwing out these nasty beats, and tape B's like super hard and heavy, serious, and then disco lines is like more fun, disco. So they're going back and forth, and everyone is standing in a semicircle. There weren't that many people there. Not nearly as many as I think most people just didn't come, or were hiding in their RVs. So we're standing there in mud up to the middle of our shins, trying to dance and listening to this. It was such a beautiful moment. And because it was just like so grassroots, And I ran into somebody that I met at a festival 2 years before and had not seen since. We just bumped into each other. Crazy. Stuff like that happens all the time in the festival scene. And then we were like, well, it's kind of muddy and wet. Should we? And then someone was like, maybe you want to go hang out in our RV. And we're like, well, maybe. But then we saw this colossal turtle shell on wheels. And we go over to them and we're like, hey, what's going on here? And it was a couple who, it's a turtle shell, it's a turtle car that they take to Burning Man every year and other festivals. And the inside is palatial. There's like soft couches, there's lights, there's like, it's just an amazing place where you can just lay back and relax. And they were like, hey, you want to get in here? And we're like, yes, we do. And they're like, well, just take your shoes off. So we took our shoes off and we crawl in there and we're like snuggling, all warm in these blankets and pillows. And then the people who own it was like a husband and wife. They got up, there's like a little center area in the turtle shell, and they start dancing, just like dancing together and like dancing for us, like doing a little performance. And we're like, what could be better? And then somebody was like, you know what would be better? If we could see tape B and disco lines because the turtle shell was like facing away from the U-Haul. If we could be laying here and see the set. And then the wife who owned the turtle shell, she was like, okay, let's do it. So they fired the thing up with us in it. They drive it around right up to the stage, like the back of the crowd, and park it right there. And so we're laying in these pillows, watching the set in the back of the filthy U-Haul. And we just stayed there for like 2 hours. It was amazing. Yeah. And then we went to, oh yeah, we weren't planning to camp there. We had an Airbnb. We were planning to just come for the music and then go back to the Airbnb. Yeah. So after everything wrapped up, hugs all around, made some new friends, and went back to our Airbnb. That's it. That's the element story. Sometimes when things don't go as planned, uh, it's the best experience you could have. And I, literally 1 week later, I was at another festival on the other side of the country. This is a story for another time. Another festival on the other side of the country that was also hit by a massive storm and was partially shut down. That's another story for another time. I need like a sign off line. I'll say, good night, campers. Sleep safe. Sleep. I'll say good night, campers.